Hi guys, welcome back to the Lucha is Real podcast. I am your host Edith.
And I'm Angel.
And we're back again.
It's been a long year in January.
Bro, it's felt like 10 years. What are you talking about? It's felt like 10 years. Let me tell you my struggle right now. I can't find eggs anywhere. I feel like I'm just a struggle boss, bro. Donde quiera que voy, like, ay, Dios mío. Ay,
Yeah.
No es mi teléfono.
Yeah, you can't find them because of the bird flu.
Yeah, I forgot that when I was shopping.
Yeah. Tell me why I went to Cardenas and the fucking big case of eggs was like $40.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah. Like the big case of, I think it's like 60 eggs or something. I don't know,
Yeah.
the big one, the one that comes like 2 layers.
$60?
No, 40.
40?
Yeah.
Where did I get 60?
Because I said 60 eggs.
Oh, okay. There we go. $40?
Yeah, it was $40. And I was
That
just
is
like,
crazy.
that is crazy, yeah. But you know what's crazy? I actually went to go eat with my parents yesterday. And we went to go eat breakfast. And I ordered like your basic meal that was like eggs, hash browns, bacon,
Yeah,
and
you always
toast.
get that.
Yeah, and like the price of the meal was still the same. It was like $12. And I'm like, you would think that a lot of these restaurants, like they're like, if you go into breakfast and you're gonna order eggs, I have a feeling a lot of these restaurants are gonna start upcharging.
Yeah.
If your meal includes eggs, and not even just eggs, because now a lot of like, I know like the citrus farms have already been like super and deeply impacted because a lot of people are not showing up to work, and well, not just the farms, but like even just like a lot of other things that we are importing are now is going to go up. But
Yeah.
I will not be surprised if a lot of people are not even going out to eat as much anymore.
That's so true, girl. That's so true because todo va a subir.
Yeah.
So that means like in order to stay afloat with people with their businesses, they're going to have to raise those prices.
Yeah.
And the minimum wage ain't raising.
Yeah.
So wages aren't raising.
Uh-huh.
So no va a quedar nada que comer tus frijolitos. Hay frijoles en la casa.
Yeah. That's going to come back, basically. You're going to be telling yourself, you know what? There's food at home.
There's beans at home. That is hilarious. Not hilarious the situation, but this. But yeah, that's outrageous, girl. And I just like, first of all, like with everything going on, además del bird flu, you know, you have the tariffs going into place, and you have tariffs. All like Northern America is doing tariffs. We're like in a, how do they call it? Economic. Oh, sorry guys, an economic war. With our neighboring countries. So
Oh, you mean a trading war?
yeah, trading war. There we go.
Yeah.
I was like, no sé cómo le llaman. With our neighboring countries, so it's
Which is insane, because I'm like, that, like, you want to, and then it's not even just them. Like, dude, there's people all over the fucking globe who are starting to punish the U.S. because they're so against everything going on.
Yeah.
Like, recently, was it Denmark, that there's going to be like a 500% increase of, I don't know if they said tariff or not tariff, maybe tariff, but like 500% increase in tariff or pricing. I don't know what it was, but something's going to go up, even in Ozempic, because they were like happy with, I forgot what the drama was.
Yeah.
But they were unhappy. And so because a lot of the Ozempic is coming from there, they're like basically saying like, yeah, we're going to go up.
Oh.
And Ozempic, yes, a lot of people use it for weight loss, but it is primarily a type 2 diabetes medication.
Ooh.
And we are a country with tons of people with type 2 diabetes. I have family members with type 2 diabetes.
Wow, I didn't know that. I know around the world that we're not seeing like in the news like a lot of protests against the United States that we don't see because they just don't cover it or like censorship. But I didn't know about like that specifically about Denmark. Pues ahí vamos.
And they're even selling, they're called moron cakes, and it's basically an orange cake on a stick that looks like the face of Trump.
Okay, that's clever.
And I was like, what in the world? I was like, I know, like, I thought Mexicans were huge trolls But whoever did the moron cakes, you guys took that one.
Oh, what I see.
That one was fucking. I looked at that and I thought that was funny as hell. But anyways, this is not a laughing matter. Maybe the moron cakes are. But back to bird flu. I just wanted to bring that up to also say everybody take care of yourself, because I know that right now communication across the United States has been kind of like on a freeze right now. Like a lot of medical professionals are not able to communicate with each other, or a lot of like their standard procedures are being halted because of different executive orders and stuff that Trump is doing. But I just wanted everybody to know, take care of yourselves, because you never know. There was actually an article released by the New York Times talking about the bird flu, and they're talking about how it's rising. It's a rising number right now. There are 67 cases with people with bird flu across 10 states. Yeah. And that was a jump from just like June of last year, there was only 2. And just from June to now, there's 67
that are known cases.
That are known, yeah. And some of them are latent and some are not. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm confusing it with something else. But they're like saying how like it's serious, because with every time that it's passing on to somebody else, it's mutating. Yeah. Just like how every flu, the bird flu is a type of flu, right? It primarily started in birds, but now it's gone as far as like people catching this, and it's mutating, and it's actually going into different animal and different livestocks. Like, for example, our cows are now having bird flu.
I know they detected it in like a certain milk from like cows.
So they said don't drink or eat any like raw animals or animal products like milk or like just raw stuff in general. Like, don't be eating raw eggs.
Well, I hope y'all aren't eating raw chickens.
No, because you're gonna catch something for sure if you're eating. But even just like your meat and stuff, like don't be eating raw meat, or like
just be careful.
Yeah, just be careful
right now. I think we could make the little sacrifice of like just making sure everything. I mean, if you like it raw, that's great. But let's go ahead and take it back right now.
A lot of people like it raw.
I know a lot of people do, but let's stay safe, guys. I don't know what I'm talking about, right? I don't know if I'm talking about the bird flu or what.
Making sexual innuendos.
We gotta find some humor, honestly, in life, because I feel like this past January, like it's been just
a long year,
a depressive, but like a depressive cloud over everybody. Like it's like a whole.
So they were actually saying that there was this guy who studies human behavior and stuff, and he was actually saying that January as it is normally and typically feels like a longer month for a lot of people, because you're coming off the high of the holidays.
Yeah.
So like when something has been like you're super like when you go to a concert or like a music festival. What?
Okay. No, I don't know. Sorry, guys. I blanked. I was looking at something. I was like, why are the numbers like this? But it's okay. The numbers audio. Okay.
What was I saying? I don't even. Okay, so like when you go to like a music festival, or you go on vacation, or you go like something that's like really super exciting.
Yeah.
You go on an emotional high, and then because we already passed the holidays, we're coming off that high. So it's kind of like people go into like post-function depression and stuff like that, like when you came back from like EDC or whatever function. So you go into like this post-function depression, and it's basically like a post-holiday depression that you go into in January. So that's why January already feels long. But not only that, but because of the weather and like it's cold, so a lot of people don't go outside and they're not getting their vitamin D and stuff.
Yeah.
So people go into typically during cold season is when people go through like the seasonal depression already. So they're already kind of in that depression where things can just feel like very long. But he was also saying that on top of all of that, we have all the shit and chaos going in our government right now. So it's felt extra long. And because it's like one thing right after another.
No, okay, that makes sense. That definitely makes sense because
It's called the shock and awe. So basically, this was actually a military tactic that they used called the shock and awe, where you like bombard people with one thing after another. Like if they're trying to shock and awe like another country,
Yeah.
they'll bomb them one after another. And it's like you are so like bombarded by what's going on that you are paralyzed from doing anything else. And you're like, what the fuck am I don't know what to do. So that's what now these politicians are trying to do with our country is the shock and awe, basically bombard us with all of these things with what was it, like 200 executive orders, like right off the bat.
I don't know, I lost count.
Yeah. And so a lot of people are like you can't even, like you are just overload on information that you don't know what to do. Like you're just like, wait, we were just talking about this and now this is going on. So like a lot of people don't know what to focus on.
Yeah, exactly. I think I saw a little bit about that, and I don't know it was called like that, but I saw something about that they're like, trying to tire us out basically with all the information. And then this girl's like, but I think this time it's gonna be a little bit different, a little bit harder. The reason being is because most Americans have such a short attention span because of like different apps that we've been on and stuff, that something happens and it like shocks us at that point, but then like something else happens and the effect of the other one kind of goes away while the other one sets in. Does that make sense? Of course they're going to tire us out, but it's going to take longer for them to tire us out because of our short attention span.
Yeah, because I think we've already kind of been, I think like all of the social media that, like, as it is prior to all of this, there were so many social media apps and so many ways of us getting information that I feel like in a way we were kind of groomed to already like take in a lot of information. So it is going to take a little bit longer. So I 100% could see that happening. It's going to take a little bit longer, but it's felt very heavy.
Yeah, I personally, speaking for myself, like it's been tiring. Like there's just times I have been trying my best to not let myself like go down that path, like be all depressed and stuff, but it's hard. It's hard to be like, oh, the world is literally on fire, it's going downhill and I can't do anything about it, but I'm just here. So I've been on this thing where it's like, okay, what can I control? Like, let me go ahead and do what I can control, and what I can control is like me, myself, and my health. So I think that's also been a big, it's weird. It's kind of not motivating me, but like kind of motivating me to be like, okay, I could take control of my health. So that's why I've been like more proactive about that lately. Because I'm like, that's the only thing I could really like do something about.
Yeah.
Specifically. Besides obviously us speaking out on here and everything, but I'm saying like beyond that, like that's all. So
there's this creator that I follow and she was saying how the number one thing that most people can do right now is take care of your health. So it's interesting that like you're saying that, because she basically was saying how that's the number one is like get your health on track, because with the way the country's going, first of all, you don't know where it's going to go, and second of all, like even with these new tariffs and stuff, like we get a lot of our medication from Canada, and that in itself is gonna, the pricing of medication is going to go up. And not only that, but there was also like some sort of executive order that Trump put in place that's also going to cause prescribed medication to go up regardless. So not on top of the executive order, but now with tariffs, like it's just going to go up by a lot, your medication.
I saw something about that. He something that Biden had put in order to like try to make him down, like he took that off.
Yeah, he like rescinded whatever the hell Biden administration had put in place for to lower cost of medication. He like rescinded that, and then on top of the tariffs, we do get a lot of our medication from Canada. That's crazy. And so it's not only because of him rescinding the thing that Biden administration put in place, it's now tariffs too.
On top of that.
Yeah, so she was basically saying like get your health on track, because you don't know, like right now it's like I feel like a lot of people don't really know, like it's kind of uncharted territory, right? Because like I don't think we've ever really had a president come in and just bam, like
I know, like in our living existence.
Yeah, and at least in our living existence, we've never had a president just come in and like, just smack everybody across the face.
Like, you thought. I feel like I'm not smacked. I feel like I've been punched. I've been decked, and I'm like on the floor right now. Yeah, that's how I feel. But I love that. I like how you mentioned that. Like, don't love that. Don't love that. How prescriptions are going up. But I like how you mentioned that because I feel like maybe like if you're listening to this or watching this, like, if you're not already doing so, maybe it's time to, it's it's not a New Year's resolution or anything, but maybe it's time para ponerte las pilas and say, you know what, like let me take control of my health and my wellness, because at this end of the day, that's all you got, shawty. So
yeah. And also another thing they recommended is to make sure you take breaks. Like take breaks from being online. Like, and just taking in all of this information. And it's like, I think something that has helped me is something that I've been doing lately is setting alarms for myself, because especially with
that's good.
As someone who has ADHD, like I lose track of time very, very easily. Whether it's because I procrastinated or the opposite, actually, where I get so like metida, like tunnel vision on a task, that I will just keep working on a certain task, and before you know it, it's been hours later.
Yeah.
And so it's like, make sure. So now I literally live by my alarm clock, because that's how I check myself.
So your phone be ringing all the time, huh?
Yeah, my phone be ringing all the time, telling me when to take my medication, when I have to eat my next meal, when it's, yeah. But it's the only way to check it. That's what works for me. Yeah. But it's like, that's how I check myself, because I lose track of time really easy.
I know. Well, tú sabes bien, like I've been like extra metida in like all this politics and stuff like that. Not only here, but also in Mexico. Like, my family is very into Mexican politics, for the ones that don't know. So I have like double whammy, So I've been keeping up with both, or trying to keep up with both. But I feel like here, especially with every executive order that keeps on coming out, it's like more and more. And I've been guilty of not taking breaks, like I'm just like, oh my God, just try taking down this information. And I feel like this weekend kind of like I forced myself to, like I've been off my phone more, because I'm just like, I can't, like whatever happened, it's still gonna be there by Monday. I'll find out about it on Monday, or whenever you tell me or something, because I'm like, I can't.
I know. I also kind of stopped sending you shit, because I was like, I also don't want to overwhelm you, because I'm pretty sure you're getting this information whether I give it to you or not. So I'm like,
and same with you. Like I know you're getting the information too. So I'm like, yeah, I don't know.
Unless I see something like super like, what the F, I'm like, oh hell no.
No, but like this weekend that you've been sending me stuff, I actually haven't really been on it.
Yeah.
Just because I've been trying to give myself to kind of like step back a bit.
Yeah.
Obviously, tampoco quiero ser completely ignorant to everything. I'm not going to do that. But it's just knowing yourself and knowing when it's like a time to take a break. Because there's nothing wrong with taking a day to even a week break, saying like, oh, let me halt myself and go back to it later.
Yeah. And there's also another thing that this creator, and I think a few other creators have actually talked about, is saying that I feel like because a lot of us who grew up in the United States, it's such an individualistic country where we keep thinking like, what am I going to do? What is one person? Like, I can't make a difference. I'm just one person. And that's the truth. You are just one person. And because we are so groomed into believing and buying into this individualistic idea that you think that the world needs to be on your shoulders and you need to carry the burden of what you need to do and whatever, they're like, but this is not a time for an individualistic mindset. Lean into your community, find out what the community is doing, and then how you can partake in that.
Yeah.
And don't let just this huge burden on your shoulders of like, what am I gonna do? Which, yeah, like, think about what you can do that can help, but also lean into your community and how I think right now it's a time for us to be united and lean into each other on what we can do to make a difference,
Yeah. I mean, I think after the election, we've been hardcore advocating about creating community on this podcast. If you've been a listener for a while, and if you're new, that's what we've been advocating. And I think it's very important. And it's not saying like, oh my God, tengo que ir and put myself like super out there. You don't have to if you don't want to. But when we say by community, it's like your family, your neighbors. Like you could start small and then go from there. I know in different places, they do have different like social groups and everything that you get to partake in. But if you are still not comfortable with that idea, start with being small. Like start with your family, start with your friends, your neighbors, and then go from there, because that's important.
Yeah.
That's what they say. They were saying like during this time, get to really know your neighbors, because you're gonna might need each other's backs. And I'm like, wow, I don't even really know my neighbors. Well, my dad does, but I
Yeah.
don't.
I know one of my neighbors,
Yeah.
but there's a few that like kind of just keep to themselves.
Yeah.
You know, like those neighbors on that side.
Yeah.
They just don't ever come out.
Especially like I think that she was the creator that was talking about this was on TikTok. I don't know her name, but it was saying like, oh, you know, build that community, get to know your neighbors, because especially now with everything going up, you never know like what you might have, like maybe things are gonna go how can I say this, things are going to get harder to get. And sometimes they're not even going to be on the shelves at the store. So it might be like your neighbor that you could exchange stuff with. So that's why they're saying like, you know, get to know your neighbors really good, especially during this time. And I'm like, wow, va a ser como Mexico cuando like, oh, que necesito unos huevitos, déjame meter azúcar, like stuff like that, you know?
Yeah, and even so, like, I know, like, for example, like, the East Side has kind of built its own community. Like, there's a whole Facebook page where I have seen people like, hey, I need someone's, like, advice, or, like, people who are like, hey, there's this extra, like, to whoever needs it, like, let me know, like, extra baby clothes, extra baby stuff, you know?
Yeah.
But that's a good idea, is to like, because I honestly don't really know my neighbors like that. I should probably get to know. I've waved at them a couple times when I see them, but
that's it.
that's pretty much it. Like, or I mean, the neighbors on that side, they've been super nice. Where the guy has like cleaned up our yard for us without even asking. They've invited us to like some of their celebrations and stuff. But other than that, oh, the front neighbors are nice too, but I feel like for the most part a lot of people just kind of keep to themselves. But that's a good idea, is to kind
it's
of,
because we live in the US, so it's like back to that individualistic mentality, and now it's like, okay, we need community, like we need to know. I mean, you were living next to these people.
I know, I've been living next to them for like how long? And
that's a good thing about, like, I feel like, especially in like my dad, he just gets to know people real quick, especially if they're like Latinos. Obviously se entiende mejor and everything. But even when our neighbors, they moved out recently, but even when our neighbors were white, he still like, you know, hi, bye and stuff like that.
Yeah. I want to kind of go back to what you had said about keeping up with Mexican like politics. What should we know of what's going on over there? Because I also know they came out with the Consulap. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
I know a little bit about it. Basically, it's an app para nuestros paisanos que viven aquí en Estados Unidos. So basically, in this app, you just put your emergency contacts, or your immediate family members, friends, and then it also notifies your closest Mexican consulate to you. So when you, like, let's say the ICE is close by, you just press a button. Like, that's what I've seen, that it has like a button.
Wait, so is it only when ICE is close by, or when you actually, like, you only set this panic button when you're gonna get detained?
Yeah, I think it's if you think you're gonna get detained, because obviously when you're getting detained, they're not gonna let you be like, let me pop out my phone. But I think it's like,
imagine, let me just get my phone out real. Can you give me a second, officer?
Oh my God, don't even get me started. I saw a video of somebody getting detained, and he's like, can I at least call my wife? Yeah. And he's like, and he just laughed in his face.
Oh my God, I can't.
So that's if you feel like it's close by, like, you know, cuando empiezan a decir,
when they're like rounding up people and stuff.
So it's just pulling up the app, just press the button real quick, and then it sends a message. So even if you don't or do, like, at least your family members will know,
be notified. Damn. So what else is going on in Mexican politics?
Well, right now, before I got on here, like, La Presidenta Sheinbaum had put out a video like 30 minutes ago, and I was about to watch it. But then we had to come film. But she was talking about, like, before, how she's told basically Trump, like, whatever you do, don't worry, like, I could do it too. Like, basically eye for eye. She's going. And she says she has a plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D, plan E. Like, she's ready. But todavía no había like solidified if she would, like, what kind of tariff she was going to put, or how much it was going to be. And I think the video that she had just put on her socials, I think it was saying something about that, but I just no alcancé a oír. So I can't tell you guys if it was like, oh yeah. But I'm pretty sure she had talked about it before, that she was going to match his tariffs or more. I just don't know if it's on all the products and services. Like, so. Yeah.
Which is crazy, bro. Like, I don't know why.
Oh, and then last week there was a meeting, an emergency meeting.
I was actually with all the Latin American like presidents. I saw that.
With all Latin American countries. So it's like they're getting ready. They're especially with what happened with Colombia.
Yeah.
They're not.
They're preparing.
Yeah, they're preparing. Because even Colombia is like, guys, like they said something about like we don't even look at, the president says something about like the United States is not our example of a country we want to be. We don't want to be a racist and stuff like that. Like that's not.
Yeah.
Especially how with the whole economic thing that's been happening, the trade wars, especially with them, like it was rocky.
So what is the because there is a canal that basically Trump wants to annex, which is it the Panama one?
The Panama Canal.
Yeah. So because I also saw that basically, and this is, I haven't looked too much into this.
That's crazy how it works. Sorry. I saw a video of how it works, and it's the engineering for the Panama Canal is crazy.
Yeah.
Like it's next level. Like, oh my God. But yeah.
He basically, because they're sending, is it Marco Rubio down there to like talk?
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, they're sending Marco Rubio down there to like talk to Panama or whatever. But apparently Panama was already like gearing up for war or like basically to defend themselves because they're like, no, what the hell do you think you're doing? And there's people literally protesting down there. I saw videos where they're burning American flags and they're basically like protesting out there like with signs and everything, like they are literally not happy with what's going on.
Yeah, and the reason why the U.S. wants the Panama Canal back, guys, is because it generates billions of dollars. Billions of dollars because it is a passageway in order for, like, these ships, these big cargo ships, instead of going through, like, South America, that would take them all much longer. They basically cut through half of it, right? Generates a lot of money because, obviously, each country has to pay so much to go through that canal. And the history of it is that at the beginning, the U.S. did own the Panama Canal, or it did own like the piece of land where the Panama Canal is, because of now I'm jogging my history. Basically, Colombia, don't get me wrong, was it Colombia? I don't know. But somehow the French got in it, and they were the first ones to try to make the Panama Canal, but it was a fail. So, the United States helped Panama independence. How do you say? Independence.
To become independent?
Yeah, to become an independent country, right? I think it was from Colombia. Don't quote me on that. So they helped Panama become an independent country. In exchange, they wanted that failed project from the French, which was just in that land surrounded, like a little bit surrounding it, to actually do the Panama Canal. So the U.S. invested like a lot of money and stuff. Yeah. And got that. Obviously, that was the treaty that they were on. They agreed. Yeah, they built the Panama Canal, and whatever. But it was like in a contract. Like I think it was by like the year 1989 or 19 something. It's ended with a 9. Don't quote me on that. But the Panama Canal was going to go back to Panama, like, you know, because it was the land of Panama. And basically what Trump is trying to get back the Panama Canal, because they said that the president that did that, they did it all wrong. That was a great loss and everything like that. That should be rightfully ours back to how it was. But obviously they gave it back because it was part of the treaty. And yeah. So
that is crazy.
So that's what they're fighting for, because it makes so much money. Like it makes a lot of money, and it's so.
Well, so yeah. First of all, he's out here making enemies of all these fucking countries that, you know, we're supposed to be on good terms with. So it's kind of sad to see like that we're the butt of a joke. I mean, people already hated us as a country. People already hated us. And I feel like people are laughing at us. And then not only that, but there's also the people that it's crazy because people feel sorry for us. Yeah. Like there's a lot of people that are like, I can't believe what's going on over there. Like people are just, I feel so sorry for you guys. And I'm like, damn.
Or like the amount of censorship that we have that we don't we don't see.
That people don't recognize.
Yeah, and other people are like, how are you guys like so blind? And it's crazy. I'm like, they also can't like understand how he has so many followers and stuff. And
there's actually a cult expert that I actually meant to watch his content, and he actually has a book that's basically says the cult of Trump. And I actually want to read on it, like read up on it, because so this author, this guy, I forgot his name, but he is a cult expert. He actually used to be a part of a cult called the Moonies, like back in the day. And he like basically, after he got out of it, he like decided to like really, really study like how does someone, you know, get into a cult without realizing they're in a cult, and like what does a cult look like per se. And like some of them, because he talks about how it's a spectrum, right? Like there's the cult, like he even says that like even just like sport fanatics can be a part of a cult, and it's kind of like a very what was the word he used, where it's not like a strict cult. Basically it's like a very like open kind of a cult because of like the beliefs that they have and like the stuff they practice. But he's like, it's not like there's like a leader and the leader's telling you like, because, you know, there's like a general view of what we see a cult as, right? And he's saying that like this is a very kind of like a free cult basically, and he can compare it to like sports fanatics and stuff like sports fanatics. But then on the other end of the spectrum, there's like the one person, like the leader, who's telling you can't be friends with them, you can't talk to those people, you can't be reading this material, and he kind of tells you what that looks like too. And so he kind of like really gets into the mind, especially of like cult leaders as well. And he did all the studying or whatever, and he deems Trump and all of his followers as part of a cult, and he wrote a whole book on it. I actually have been meaning to read that because I was like, I really just want to understand, you know, like the mindset because
following him so blindly, even when like his policies like affect every single person that voted for him.
So yeah, because it's just there's so much because it's crazy because he had made all these promises that people were he's gonna do this, he's gonna do that, and then like go back and just kind of like flip it, and then people are still justifying all of it.
Y'all were like, that's my thing, bro. These Trump supporters were so mad, like so lividly mad when groceries were going up. The prices of eggs were Joe Biden's fault, right? Because they were like, you know, inflation or whatever. That everything was going up. It was outrageous. Blamed it all on the president. All of it. And right now we're seeing even more of it. But they're quiet. Justifying it. Like, oh, you know, like.
Or there's even the people who are saying like, well, you know, his main focus right now is deportation and it's going to take some time. They're like, actually, I would rather pay extra for coffee if it means deporting all these illegals. I'm just like, oh.
Crazy.
It is just crazy how easy it is to flip, you know, when, you know, because it was like day one and Trump was like, oh, yeah, these groceries it's going to be hard to bring down prices. Like, you know, we're not focusing on that right now.
And they're okay with that. And that's the thing about it. Most people voted for him for a better economy.
But you know what's crazy? A whole year before, actually not even a year, in October, Elon Musk literally was saying that the American people will have to basically hurt for a little while. The economy is going to have to like basically be in turmoil before they can rebuild and make it like America great again or something like that. So they literally told everybody the economy is going to crash. And if you don't believe me, go look up the fucking articles because there's articles where he literally was quoted and it's not even just he was quoted. It was literally they screenshot where he literally said that the American economy is going to basically crash. Because it's going to have to be in, like, ruins or whatever before it, like, builds up again, supposedly. Yeah. So they let everybody know. But people don't bother to like read that stuff, or they just, oh no, they're not gonna let that happen. You know, they're fucking delusional.
Well, that's a slap to the face to all the Latinos that voted for Trump, because that was their main priority, the economy. You know, F their people, the economy.
The economy.
Y aquí vamos, mira.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Anyways, let's fucking before we start, just going on about.
Oh man, talking about roller coasters, bro.
Okay.
Let me just jump into something a little bit more personal.
Yeah. What's your montaña or your
you
montaña
read
rusa?
my mind. Montaña rusa. What? So what's mine? I was gonna say what's yours, Shadi?
I want to start with I think one of the peaks this past week. What has felt like forever. I actually got to go to dinner and hang out with our friends Vive con Huevos out from San Diego, Mario and Pau, who came out to Vegas, and got to go to dinner with them. And it was actually very, very refreshing, because I know it was like, it's been like we were talking about, it's been a rough week. You know, it's been a lot of everything. And so it was kind of refreshing going out to dinner with them and just being able to get my mind, well, not even necessarily get my mind off of things, because, you know, like obviously politics came up, current events came up, you know, like how is it not going to? But it was still refreshing being able to like, you know, see their faces, see them in person, and be able to like enjoy some good food, and be able to like not only talk about current events, but also, you know, talk about like, you know, what's going on with them, what's new with them, and, you know, they're telling us about like, you know, their wedding planning and stuff like that. So it was kind of good to kind of get out of the fucking bubble for a little while.
The routine.
Yeah, get out of the routine. So even though I was like really exhausted, because I only slept, I think like that night I only slept like 4 hours or something, but this past week has been like that. Like I just have not gotten enough sleep, and I just feel like it just built up to like this like boiling pot that finally overflowed on Friday, because I just woke up on the wrong side of the, not even the wrong side of the bed. I woke up on the wrong side of the fucking house or something. Because I feel like, you know, when you're just so tired, you're just so tired that everything, you're just so irritable. That's how I woke up. And this weekend, I just feel like has not very been relaxing for me, or like, I feel like I haven't. So that's kind of my low, right? I just feel like this past weekend has not been very rejuvenating at all.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like I don't feel like I'm at my peak mentally right now.
Yeah. You haven't had that me time.
Yeah. Or just sleep.
Like authentic time to rest.
Yeah. So I haven't had that rest time, but that's my peak and my low. What about you?
I think my low, I'll start with my low. I think it's just been like, I've been very mentally tired with everything that's happening. Like, it's been kind of like dragging me. So I'll probably say that. But my peak is definitely yesterday. I was like, you know what? It's time to like get off my phone, get off whatever. And I went. Oh, first, let me give you a little bit of backtrack. Now with everything happening and knowing all these companies and removing their DEI programs, and then also like supporting certain people that my values don't align with, I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to find a different way, like to shop and stuff. And also I've been like, I told you, like one of my goals this year is to like save more, right? So and so then yesterday I went thrifting with my sister. And I keep in mind, I'm not a big thrifter, guys. I'm not a big thrifter. I don't know how to thrift, but I'm on a mission to know how to thrift more smarter. And it was actually really cool. I found some really good pieces.
That's
and
good.
Stuff like that. I want to, be more sustainable, like when it comes to like fashion pieces I buy, and also finding like my personal unique style. Like I feel like I need to get zoned in more into it. And yeah.
Oh, nice. Well, it was probably, I'm sure it felt good to like kind of get away from.
Yes. I got a bag that I've been wanting that could cost like a $150. I got it for $8.
No way.
Yes.
Oh, now that's a solid deal right there.
If you guys know the base, like they do luggage and bags and stuff. I have a dupe of their work bag I bought it from Amazon like years ago, and I found it there for $8, and it's almost casi nueva.
You saved yourself $150.
So I think the whole day. I even went to a new bookstore.
Oh, nice.
It was so cool. So
I was actually just looking at, before you got here, I was looking at a video where this girl was like, oh, if you don't want to be getting your books on Amazon anymore, because we ain't well, I'm trying to. So it's just like, you're trying to reduce the amount of money that we're giving to these fucking companies, right? Because I know for sure, like, I can't completely get off of Amazon because, like, of my cameras and stuff, they're all linked up to Amazon. Okay. So I can't really, like, get off of it. Because I was ready to cancel my membership, my Prime membership. I was so ready when I told you. I was like, girl, I'm ready. But then I was like, you know what? My cameras are linked to it, so I can't. Got to figure out that situation. But I am trying to minimize the amount of money that I'm spending through Amazon. For sure not shopping at Target. For sure not. Like, I'm not giving my money to these companies because, like, they don't care about us.
No, and that's like one of the biggest ways to also like protest against these companies is like not giving them our hard-earned money.
Yeah.
They're going to feel it. They're going to feel the impact. Si todos los hacemos. Como lo que le pasó a Starbucks, bro.
Yeah.
Their business was tanking and is tanking because they're not getting it enough customers how they used to. I don't know how many. I think
they closed down hella stores too.
Yeah, they're closing. They're set to close a lot of stores this year too. So, put your money where your mouth is, and that's how they're listening.
You're literally voting with your dollar.
Yeah.
You're voting who you want in business.
Exactly.
And if you're okay giving your money to, like, Target and, like, all of these companies and billionaires who don't give a shit about you, I mean, that's up to you, but I'm not giving my dollar. I'm not voting them into business. I'm voting, other people that actually care about you.
So it's like just being smarter with where you shop, and it's like sometimes there's certain things that you're like, oh man, like for example, Amazon, but it's keeping it to like a minimal, the most minimal that you can. Like if you could get something somewhere else and you have to drive up all the way over there, then do it, like do it. That's the thing about me that I have to cut my I have to, what is it called? Cancel my membership. Because I don't even buy that much stuff. Like ever since the beginning of the year, I kind of stopped buying from there. I buy like.
Well, you're also trying to save money too, so.
Yeah, so ya estaba preparada, bro. And entonces I should cancel it completely because I'm just like
yeah.
There's no point. And my parents also have a membership, but there's like certain things my mom's like, oh, se me va a hacer bien duro. So, but she even said like if I could buy somewhere else, then I will. But for now, it's just at a minimal. And for me, I'm just going to cancel it completely. I feel like, especially when it comes to books, it's like, get to know your where you live. Like, there's so many locally owned bookstores that's better to support, y apoyar.
Yeah.
When it comes to everything else, like food and stuff, like, instead of going to Walmart or Target and everything like that, go to your, like, ethnic food stores, for example, like Cárdenas, Bonita, and stuff like that.
Or even Kroger. I know Kroger is.
Do we have one here?
Smith's is part of Kroger.
Smith's is part of Kroger.
And Vons. Okay. I believe Vons too
is part of Kroger.
Is gonna be Kroger soon.
Okay. I see. I don't know much.
Yeah.
But
because there's certain things that, like, if you go to like Cárdenas and stuff, you can't find stuff that's like like at
Costco. If you need things like if you're gonna use that, might as well buy it in bulk and just go there.
But I was actually just looking at a video before you got here on like even just like online like bookstores where they sell like lightly used books too, new and lightly used, and they were like sharing a bunch of websites like if you just want to order them online if you don't like know like a bookstore in your area, so that, and I'm like, damn, that means I'm gonna probably have to go back to physical books and not be reading on my Kindle.
I mean, you love physical books. It's just
I do, but it's just it's more convenient for me to use my Kindle app. But I don't have an issue with getting a physical book.
No,
it's just a convenience thing,
That's the thing about it.
So I'm gonna have to be a little inconvenienced, for a while. But it's okay. But actually, okay, so there's like a few things we wanted to jump into. I actually had a question for you.
Yeah, go for it.
How do you feel about people having radical views, or just like not even necessarily radical views, but just having a strong belief in something, and getting let go, being public about that, and then like they get let go of it because of it from their job.
I think if those views are harmful to other people, are basically stem from bigotry, I feel like as a company, like me, if I have a business, my employees represent me. So the last thing I want is for that employee that, like, for example, I don't know, I'm gonna put an example. They're very into Nazi views.
Yeah.
I don't represent that, and I don't want my company to represent that, and I don't want people, when they see, like, thinking that I represent them just because they're working with me. So I have the right to be like, nah. Bye. You get me? I think especially knowing that that's so harmful to the community.
Yeah.
Those type of views.
So the reason why I was bringing it up was because there was this video circulating about this woman who was basically saying that she doesn't feel bad about,
I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that.
A lot of people saw it because it went so viral. This woman was going on talking about how she doesn't feel bad about the mass deportations. If anything, she finds great comfort even though families are being torn apart, and she's laughing at these families, and she's like basically saying that she feels like they are subhuman. And it just went crazy viral, right? And she went by like a fake name on social media, but they found out her real name because she was going by like Melody or something like that. But they ended up finding out her real name. Her real name is April. And they found out where she worked and everything. And her job ended up letting her go because they basically said the same thing you did. And they were like, yeah, like her views do not align and do not represent at all like what our company believes in and stuff like that. And they basically had to like almost not say sorry, but just be like, yeah, no, like she no longer works with us, like, and they let her go. Yeah, that's not our views. And they let her go. And there was like all these, of course, people who were defending her, basically saying that like, basically saying like, oh, our First Amendment allows us to basically like, freedom of speech and all this stuff. And people are, and like, there's people who are like saying, there's a difference between you practicing your First Amendment and freedom of speech, but people are confusing freedom of speech with consequences because she had every right to say whatever the hell she believed, right? That if that was her belief,
her First Amendment.
She used her First Amendment and said what she believed, but they're like, she basically the First Amendment says that the government, like, you have the freedom to, say whatever the hell you want, and the government's not going to come and punish you for it. That's what your First Amendment is. But there's a difference because she practiced her freedom of speech, but there's consequences to that, right? Because she, nobody came and punished her for it because of what she said, but because of her values not aligning with the company. And the company was like, well, you could practice, like, you're not going to go to jail for what you said, but we're going to let you go because that doesn't align with our values. Yeah. And I think people are confusing like freedom of speech with consequence. Exactly. And it's like, I'm the same way. I'm like, dude, if my employee was like out here saying like some radical shit or like some crazy off the wall stuff, I'm like, that does not align with what we believe. So no, I would not want to have someone like who's spewing all this hate.
Yeah, your employees are a representation of you. Did you see the other one of I saw the lady one, but did you see the other one of the era como un padre, un father, no sé qué.
Oh my God, and he's a priest.
Yes,
and
there we go.
And then he does the freaking thing, and I was like, get the F out of here.
And the clergy that he was with basically shunned him.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, no, they came out with a statement too that they're like, he's no longer part of the church.
Good.
That's not what we believe in, because it was like a pro-life convention. I know that, like, he was speaking at a pro-life convention, and then he did that to kind of like
the fucking salute.
Yeah, and he was like, my heart, and then he like smirks, but the church,
he knew what he was doing.
Yeah, the church was like, we don't stand on any political thing, like we don't say political views because it's not about that.
Yeah.
And the fact that this was politically motivated, obviously, they're like, no.
Good. I'm glad.
So
Because
yeah, it's like, oh, you got freedom of speech, but like como tú dijiste, hay consecuencias. And as a private business or like a whatever a institution of itself, you have the right to be like, you know what, I don't want that.
yeah.
I don't want that. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead, practice your freedom of speech somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly. Go find someone else who's okay with that.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. People and their nerve. It's so insane.
Es lo que pasa. Like, I feel like people are getting a much more comfortable.
Oh, yeah, because
saying
he's
all
giving
this.
he's enabling racism.
Yeah.
He's enabling homophobic behavior and all that stuff. He's enabling people, and people are getting comfortable with it.
Yeah. And it's sad.
It's very sad. But it's also, like, enraging.
Yeah.
Because, like, did you see
I just want to go throw eggs.
They're too expensive now,
that's
girl.
right. You're right. Never
They're
mind.
too expensive now.
I'll say it.
But, like, did you see that there's people, there's transgendered people who basically couldn't even get a passport?
Yeah.
I was like, dude, what in the world?
Yeah.
And then even just, like, the cracking down on the school, what is it? You shared it with me.
The new, what is it called?
Oh, dang it.
Literally, we just said the word.
I know, we
Yeah.
were just talking about it.
The new executive order he passed
Uh-huh.
of basically eliminating radical indoctrinalization of K to 12 schools.
Yes.
And I was in awe when I read that, guys. I was at school in awe when I read this, because it's like basically I read the whole order, and what it sums up to be is washing away history and not teaching our kids what actually happened. It's basically teaching our kids that an inspiring version of of the United States, and how a good version of the United States, and not saying like, you know, not the true upbringing of the United States and how it came to be. Like sugar coated.
Yeah.
Very patriotic version of history of the United States. And
Yeah. And it's
sad.
crazy because even like Germany was looking at this and they were like, dude, you guys are literally going to repeat history.
Yeah. It's literally
Because-
brainwashing our children.
Because even like people in Germany are like, dude, we freaking went through that. They're like, no, like you, like, especially in Germany, they're all about making sure that they know what happened.
Yeah.
That they're like, no, we are not going to repeat this part of history. And that is such a like core value for them. Like even the salute that this fucking guy did, like, is illegal over there. Like you cannot fucking do that.
You go to jail.
And over here, it's just like all these people are now like justifying that, like, oh, it wasn't that. Like they're just, people are so delusional. They're like, no, it wasn't that. It was something else. And we all know what it was.
Yeah. So that executive order is crazy to me. I think it's like, you can't call out racism, from what I understood in schools, because that basically divides people.
Yeah. Well, you can't even talk about like white privilege either,
Yeah.
because it's discrimination.
Yeah.
It's discriminatory language.
And it just puts all these like educators that are really passionate about their jobs in a weird place. It like basically,
well, they have to choose
shuns
between,
them.
yeah, because they have to choose between teaching the truth, or, you know, teaching whatever BS the government wants.
Yeah.
And, you know, because if they don't, then they get defunded.
Yeah. And that's sad. And even also schools that like support their transgender kids also get defunded too. So it's sad, honestly.
It's very
so
sad.
And it's saying like, oh, like those learnings of other parts of history should be on the parent, because we shouldn't like
Yeah.
give that to our kids at school. And I'm like, what do you I guess.
It's very sad what's
Like,
going on.
Yeah. So.
while we're all, this is basically the topic of the, I was about to say while we're on the topic, but this is the topic of basically the whole episode. But I don't know if you saw, because I know you're taking kind of like breaks from social media, but did you see how a lot of people are saying that Grupo Frontera are Trumpers?
Yeah, I saw that on Friday. I started seeing that on Friday.
Crazy, right?
Because people are like, from what I was seeing, there was like this viral TikTok, and people were like unfollowed, taken off from like Spotify. Mm-hmm. Like they were.
I actually looked into it, but I didn't look into it today, but I was looking into it this weekend because I was like, I just wanted to know like how accurate this was, because I didn't want to just take like this person at their word and be like, oh yeah, like I'm going to go unfollow or whatever just because this one person said it. So I was actually like looking into it, but I was while looking into it, I had like, it had been days now that this rumor had been going around that they were like, Trump supporters. And not only them, but like their families, because there's like videos of like, I think someone's grandmother.
Oh yeah. What is his name? The main singer.
Payo. Mm-hmm. His grandmother. And Celebrating, Trump's victory. And I was like, well, I don't want to take that one person's word at it. But then it's just like seeing all these things like that. And then, but it had been days now, and they had still not responded to the people.
Well, this other girl was saying, there was different creators talking about it, that I guess they had different talks on podcasts and stuff like that showed that they're Trump supporters on their social media or like certain videos, and they scrubbed it all out. Like you can't find it anymore. Like but I don't know, because I don't know if that's true, because I haven't seen them. Mm-hmm. So,
but I did find an interview. Let me tell you, I fucking took screenshots. Which
You're is like, it's on my phone.
It's on my phone. I took screenshots because I did find an article, and it was an interview by El País. It was it's an article here. Ahorita te lo digo. It's called Grupo Frontera. We respect American laws, but we support Mexican immigrants as best we can. And this was written by Ayub El Kadmiri by El País. Okay? So in this interview, here's what the guy asked. He said, in the United States, and this article was written, I'll tell you the date on it too. This was posted or publicized January 5th, 2025. Just this year, okay?
Oh, okay.
Early this year. And
super recent.
Yeah, super recent. And the question was, in the United States, Trump has been reelected as president. His proposals regarding the border with Mexico have been very controversial, going as far as wanting to put up a wall. As border dwellers, how do you see this issue? Straight up asking them.
Yeah.
One of the members said, "We rarely get involved in politics." Already don't like your answer. It's very controversial for us. So that was like, it's very controversial for us, and we just want to make music. I feel like that's a cop-out.
Yeah.
But we've always supported immigrants. Last year, we went to visit a community center. We donated toys for the children. It's our neighborhood after all. And then another member said, we respect the laws that the country has, but we support immigrants as best we can. We do things for the community. We donate toys for the children of migrants who are here and who are being detained by the authorities. Then the next question was, from what I understand, you don't agree with the idea of a border wall. And then they replied, no, ... But at the end of the day, there's no wall. And then someone said, yes, there is, but only halfway. They never finished it, and that's where we live. As Bill Burr, the American comedian, said, at the end of the day, whoever's president isn't going to put food on our table. So keep going, guys. And that was their response.
So very like...
kind of like...
I see this.
Like, they're saying, like, we respect the laws, but we also support immigrants as best we can. But it's just, like, I feel like there was dispassion there. That's how I feel about it. How do you feel about it?
I think so, too, especially being that the biggest listener of your music just happen to be Latinos, you know, specifically Mexicans. Specifically.
Yeah. I just feel like you would have been more passionate about it if,
especially partaking in a genre.
Yeah, if like I just feel like, especially knowing who your audience is, like, oh, we don't get involved with politics because it's so controversial. Yeah, I get it. But at the same time, it's like, I feel like when you care about your audience and your people, like you would show, they donated toys to like the children. And that was, I wonder if that's all they've done to support immigrants, because they didn't really give any other examples besides giving toys to like the migrant children.
And it's not saying like it doesn't even have to be monetary, girl. It could be just like, alzando tu voz, and
but they haven't.
Like, that's the such a large platform.
Yeah, but they really haven't, because as far as when I was looking into this, they still hadn't even like addressed the fucking rumors, because I feel like if somebody was trying to spread a rumor about me being a Trump supporter and I knew I wasn't,
oh my god, I
would have been already like, no, absolutely fucking not, because I stand with my people. And to think that like they haven't really like addressed it, which again, they don't really owe anybody anything, but at the same time, it's like when you know who your audience is, like you are profiting off of them, you kind of do owe it to them.
Yeah. You're in the business. We chose the business. They chose that business.
Just like how we've profited off of, like our audience from this podcast, but we are literally letting everybody know where we stand.
Yeah.
And who are at the same time, it's like, it's not like we have such a huge platform.
Yeah, and if you come out saying I'm a Trump supporter, I'll be online real quick.
No!
Let me bring out my boleta. I don't know where it's at. Let me go to.
Yeah.
Like, no.
So it kind of goes back to what we had said previously, like when you are literally profiting off of Latinos and you know who your audience is, it's kind of like, why keep your mouths quiet? Like, why keep quiet? Like how I said it, being quiet is loud as hell. Mm-hmm. And you are literally just kind of proving my point by staying quiet.
Exactly. I even told you something about, kind of turn it a little bit, how when people think about like the people in Germany, like its past and stuff like that with Hitler and the Nazis and stuff, people think like, oh, most of them were like big and bad, and everybody just did bad like of that group, right? But the Nazis that it was most prevalent of, like it was a group of people that didn't do anything.
All the passive people?
Yeah, all the passive people are the reason why this really happened. Because you have this like smaller group doing all these changes, and there was people just staying quiet, and
because it didn't affect them,
and you just become part of that. Mm-hmm. And even if you didn't say, like, if you didn't partake in, like, doing those like those really, really bad things, like, it's still like you let it happen. Like, you didn't do anything about it because it didn't affect you. Mm-hmm. And
there's literally a whole quote. Go look it up.
Yeah. So, it kind of goes into that. It's like you have all these people that are not preferring not to say anything because
it doesn't directly affect them.
Yeah. But too bad.
And it's so sad. But on the flip side, let's talk about the flip side. We are going to get into our stir the beans, okay? On the flip side, then we have someone like Selena Gomez, who posted a video. And in the video, she's like heartbroken, crying, because she's like, oh my God, like all these deportations, like you could tell that she was like so hurt over it. Yeah. And the backlash was insane, that she actually took down the video not long after posting it. Yeah. You saw it, right? Where she's like crying and she's like, oh my God, my people, the children. And she's just like heartbroken over it. And there was so much backlash where people are like, on the other side, on the flip side, are like, oh, what else could you expect from an actress besides acting? And basically saying that her video was fake, that it was all for attention. And it's crazy because it wasn't just like American people, right, that were speaking negatively about her video, but also a lot of Mexicans. Yeah. I don't know. What do you think?
You also had a senator, right?
Oh, girl, yeah, there was politician. No, actually, not even just a senator. She was posted on the official White House page on Instagram.
I did not know that.
Yep, and I have a picture of it on my phone because I screenshot it. I was like, you are fucking kidding me that the official White House on Instagram posted this video and they're basically like talking shit.
Because I know the senator or whatever said like, we should
Mr.
deport,
Parker?
yeah, deport her too, which is crazy to me that
shit,
you're
my
like,
bad.
that you feel so comfortable spewing that hate, but it's not surprising. But honestly, like, first of all, she's the first celebrity to even talk about this. Because everybody has been very hush-hush. That I know of.
Well,
you know,
I
and
mean,
I think there's other celebrities too.
there's
but,
like Becky G has
Yeah.
openly talked about it.
But
and
she's
like,
one of the... She's extra big. Like, she's a
Selena
super
Gomez, yeah. She's like
big
one of the
celebrity.
most followed females on Instagram. Yeah. So...
And to talk about this, you know, she took her platform and she's like, you know what? I'm going to show the pain. And I don't feel like it was acted out. I feel like she just felt like she wanted to let it out and like for the people to see. If a lot of people were like, oh, like you could do more than crying. Yeah, she can, but like, you know, give her those resources and stuff like that. Send them to her, DM her like all these, you could do this and this, and like, don't just like, I don't know, spew hate, especially because I feel like a lot of us are feeling like that. We're feeling like a lot of people have broken down, and she just thought the best way for her is to kind of like show that side of her vulnerability.
Well, I'm pretty sure she didn't just grab this is how I kind of see it, right? I'm pretty sure she didn't grab the camera and be like, okay, 1, 2, 3, and then start crying.
No, I don't think
like
so.
I'm pretty sure she had seen, just like how all of us are seeing the craziness online, and I'm pretty sure she was looking at all these videos and she probably broke down and she probably wanted to say more. Like I'm pretty sure she wanted to say more, but that's all she could really was like get out, was just like, oh my god, my people, like the children. You could tell that because girl, I'm not even gonna lie, there was videos that I broke down crying too, because I'm like, I can't, like, this is so heart-wrenching, and just because it's not happening to me does not mean that I can't feel empathetic about other people and other people's families and kids. Like, it is heart-wrenching. And I'm pretty sure, like, she had already seen something. She broke down and was like, oh my God, like, I have to say something. I have to. And I'm pretty sure she wanted to say more. And that's pretty much, I'm pretty sure all she could get out. Like, it was whatever words she said. Because I think she was like, oh, my people, like, the children. And I think that was pretty much, like, the snip of it. I don't know if she said more.
She was sobbing. Like, she was crying and sobbing.
But I just think it's just like, and it kind of goes to show, right? Like, you can never fucking please everybody, because there's either going to be the people that are like, oh, why aren't you saying anything? And then there's the people that are going to be like, oh, that's fake. You can't please everybody. Props to her for speaking out, because there's so many people who have stayed quiet. Props to her, because she has such a huge fan base, and people are like, oh, it's so fake because she's never even talked about this. And dude, she did a whole fucking documentary on immigrants that was on Netflix, because she does open up about her grandparents being immigrants. She just happens to be a second gen. I don't know. I was very like annoyed by people, because especially the Mexicans, because I'm like, dude, just fucking like why are you going out of your, like, we're already being divided. Why are you fueling that? Why are you fueling that? Like, she's actually trying to like share, you know, something, emotion, some empathy.
But I guess people don't know how to show empathy nowadays.
I don't know, but it was so sad to me. But the fact that it went as far as posting it on the official White House Instagram page, it was so, I was like, I gotta show you the video, girl. I gotta show you the video that the White House posted, because it's fucking ridiculous. And, okay, I also have to share this, because do we all remember who Andrew Tate is?
Oh, please don't bring that man into
this. So he apparently...
Don't like this man, Angel.
He felt the need to comment.
Oh, hey.
And I have to share with you what this fucking guy said, because this is how a lot of European American people see us, okay? Because this is the mindset that a lot of Europe, and the amount of reshares or retweet or whatever and likes that this man got, shows you that this is how they really see us. So first of all, he had just like reposted it and called her a hoe. Okay. The fuck does that have? I don't know. Anyways.
I really don't like this man.
Yeah, girl. He said, if all these Mexicos and mini Mexicos don't want their Mexicans back, why should we want them? Oh, hi, I'm Peru. Oh, my name is Honduras. No, you're all Mexico. Hello, officer. Someone's breaking into my car. Look, he looks Mexican. Nobody says he looks Honduran. Fake place. You're all going back. Guys, this is how a lot of European American people see Latinos. They see us as all just Mexicans. They're not acknowledged. Like, and this is kind of goes to show.
Because it goes beyond, like, it takes their brain capacity cannot process that there's more than one Latin American country.
Yeah, but it just goes to show that even the Latinos for Trump, they're not going to look at you and be like, oh, no, you voted for Trump. Unless you have a fucking MAGA hat or whatever. But they're still going to call you a Mexican, even if you're Salvadorian, even if you're Honduran, if you're Puerto Rican, whatever you are, they're going to look at you. And depending on what your complexion is, they're either going to call it, like if you're an Afro-Latino, they're going to call you black or they're going to call you a Mexican. Because that's how they see everybody. Like, that's how they see us. And it's so fucking sad because there's a lot of, like, Latinos who are just so delusional and think that, like, oh, no, I'm a legal Latino or whatever. You're talking about them over there. Like, the fucking delusion is beyond me. That I even looked at the comments and look at what this guy commented. He said, this person is a Latino. He is not wrong. Who do you see running around with all the Palestinians protesting? Mexicans. Who do you see running around protesting La Migra? Mexicans. Si se puede. Laughing at us. Mostly everyone thinks all of us are Mexican, not knowing that they're insulting us by calling us Mexican. Trump. And then put the... So these are the type of people that are trying to divide us. Yeah. Okay, like there was already a lot of division between like Latin American countries, but like don't get mad at like don't get mad because you're being called Mexican with like the European Americans are the ones that are calling you that. Yeah. It's not us. Like we acknowledge that there's other Latin American countries. I have a lot of respect for a lot of other Latin American countries and their culture. But this is a time for us to be united because that is how they see us. And this man, I think this man is he's from another fucking country, first of all. I don't even think he's from here, right? I think he's a lot of bad stuff, he's also, that's for sure. I think he's like the son of an immigrant or something like that. I didn't do too much research because I don't care to know more about this man. But spewing a lot of fucking ignorance.
That's a lot of people right now too.
Yeah.
Spewing ignorance and hate, and we need to unite. I can't say that enough.
I know. But I just want to know, like, your guys' thoughts. Like, tell us what you guys think about the Selena Gomez video. If you think it's fake, give us, I don't know, tell us why. Or if you think it was inappropriate, tell us, or if you, even if you guys still think it's fake, but also, like, you're like, oh, you know what? It was a good thing of her to post. Because not a lot of people are speaking out on this. Yeah. Tell us what you guys think about Grupo Firme.
Grupo
Frontera, my bad. Oh, damn, I'm already trying to drag other people, my bad. No, it's because, when you get, like, all riled up and you're like, Grupo Frontera.
Too. Banda MS, they're being dragged too.
Oh, really? I didn't see that one. What's going on?
They're Trump supporters. Supposedly some of them are Trump supporters, like the main ones. Uh-huh. So people are like, no, we don't support.
Which is crazy because they're coming here to Vegas in a couple weeks.
I'm just saying, guys, put your money where your mouth is. If you don't stand for that, your values don't align with specific people or companies and stuff like that, stop giving them your dollar. Put money where, back into the communities, like, POC owned, like, businesses and stuff. So, yeah, and artists that support you.
Yeah. I think we're gonna have to call it because let's go into some chisme palmetiche.
Oh, let's do that.
Let's do that because
Let's do that. Let's do something a little bit more lighthearted, yo.
Yeah, because before I fucking start going off on different tangents. Sorry, guys. Can you tell that I'm passionate about this? I got all the fucking screenshots too. Oh my god, I got all the screenshots.
And also, like, our hearts. A little bit of a side note. Our hearts go out to like everybody that was affected by the plane crashes.
Oh my god, yeah, that was so sad. Another thing. Oh my god, there's just so much that has happened. Like I'm pretty sure there's like a few things we missed talking about, and that was something that I think we meant to bring up.
It's just it's just so much. That's why. Yeah, for the families affected, the families who had lost somebody during those plane crashes, I can't even imagine like what they must be feeling right now. You know, it was like kids, adult, like.
And then there was also, and it's so sad because there was also the plane that crashed in Philadelphia.
Yeah,
that one
was a jet. It was a medical jet, right?
Yeah, because they were going back to Mexico.
Yeah,
it was so sad, and they landed, and like I saw some footage of the wreck, like the scene, and it was so sad. Like
I saw it because my parents showed me, and it's crazy. Like that was like a bomb, and like made a hole on the ground.
It was so sad. Yeah. So our heart goes out to, anybody affected by it and those families. Yeah. Like,
and
that's so sad.
It is. And I'm so sorry that we have a president that tried to politicize it too. So,
I mean, they try to politicize a ton of shit. Do you want to read the first one?
But, this one, the little one. Mm-hmm. El Chisme es a Facebook group has been created with over 10,000 people to head over to the prison the day of release of Yolanda, killer of Selena Quintanilla. Las chismosas de Facebook are crazy. The logo podcast.
Oh, that is kind of crazy.
Hey,
hello. When is her release?
I don't know.
Damn.
I know it was supposed to be soon. I don't know, like.
Yeah, because I know, like, right now, like, with everything, I'm pretty sure it just kind of got overshadowed.
Oh,
but
my God. Imagine just, like, coming out of jail and there's a mob.
Las señoras de Facebook are fucking, like, out there waiting for you.
Oh, my God.
It's going to be a nightmare for that lady because I know a lot of people felt very passionate about.
Yeah, definitely. Ride or die Selena Quintanilla fans. So.
Yeah. That's a little crazy. Okay, let's go to the next one. Oh, this one's a little long. Okay. Hey, I just want to say that I love your podcast. My friend and I always look forward to listening to your podcast. Thank you for all the laughs. It helps me get through my 10-hour shifts at Amazon. Oh, girl.
I'm glad we help you get through those.
Yeah. You girlies are freaking amazing. It's so sad because, like, obviously a lot of people like listening to us because we make them laugh, and I'm pretty sure, like, our freaking rants.
Especially right now, like, we've been much more on the serious topics and stuff, so it's like, yeah.
It's kind of hard to, like, see, shout out, I don't know how these people, like, other creators are able to create, like, content, for laughs and entertainment, because it's so difficult for me. Like, I don't know how to separate what's going on with being able to create content or talk about unserious things. Kind of, I don't know, just kind of seems a little weird for me. But hopefully we'll be funny again soon. You girlies are freaking amazing. Please don't say my name. Well, I don't know your name, but I won't. I'm 28 years old and I live in Oklahoma. And I've been married for about 8 years. My husband, my baby boy, and I live with my parents due to financial reasons. Anyways, I was listening to your podcast where you guys talk about in-laws, and I have an embarrassing story to share.
Oh my God.
Oh, Lord. Okay, so last year, my husband decided to go to Hidalgo, Mexico, because he wanted to visit his family. Sadly, I couldn't go with him. The day before he left to Mexico, I was like, man, I better get some before he leaves because I wasn't going to see him for about 2 to 3 weeks. So that day at around 11 a.m., me and my husband started doing the deed. There There I was with my saggy titties out, doing it missionary style, rocking back and forth.
I love how you're just painting an image, bro.
Tell me why I can see this in my...
Oh my god.
See this in my head. Okay. Oh, damn. Okay. Rocking back and forth. Having the time of my life, sweating and moaning.
Well, image is painted.
I know
Image is
exactly what
painted.
you guys are doing. Okay. Okay. Sweating and moaning. I wasn't moaning loud or anything, in parentheses. When suddenly my mom walks in my room. Mind you, the door was locked, but if you push the door, it will open. So she sees me and I see her, and we locked eyes for 3 seconds, but I felt like a lifetime. But I felt like a lifetime.
Oh my gosh. Trágame tierra.
After that, she left and closed the door. I got dressed as fast as I could. Needless to say, my husband and I stopped because it ruined the mood. I was so embarrassed. I was like, trágame tierra. My husband and I did not want to come out of the room. I was so embarrassed. Anyways, my mom and I never talked about it. Thank God. One last thing, a shout out to one of my besties, Kelly. Shout out Kelly.
Shout out Kelly.
Because we'll be listening to Chisme Palmetiche. A ver si les llega mi chisme, haha. Girl, I needed that laugh.
Oh my goodness.
Edith, what would you do if you locked eyes with your mom?
That's
And you're over
so
here
weird.
missionary titty sacking, moaning and groaning.
Moaning and groaning. I love that.
And you locked eyes for 3 seconds because your mom barged in.
You know what? I feel like I would like automatically be like, get out! Like I would just like yell and be like, vete, vete, vete. I don't know if we'll lock in for that. Like open the door. We're like, I feel like I would see her and I'd panic. You know, I'll just be like, get out, get out, get out. But I feel like, well, it depends on each relationship with your mom, you know? Like, I feel like after I would talk to my mom, like, yo.
Boundaries.
Yeah.
Like, even if you, like, knock and you feel like the door is locked, don't just come barging in.
It's locked for a reason. Like, it's
well, I guess
closed for a reason.
Yeah.
It's closed for a reason.
I think
that's
especially, like, if you're in a room with your spouse and the door is closed, I literally would have to, amiga, like if you don't have that relationship with your mom, I definitely would have that conversation and be like, boundaries.
I'd be like, usted no abra la puerta si no está abierta.
Yeah.
Like, unless like you haven't heard from me in like 3 days, or you might be dead inside, then maybe la piensas, but no.
Girl, oof.
No.
That definitely would be like...
Definitely turns off the mood.
Yeah, no, I get it. Why you guys put your clothes... Could you imagine, like...
How can you go back to that? Like, I just, like, how can you go back? I mean, I'm pretty sure there's people that have been caught and they're like, you know what, let's just finish the deed. But I don't feel like I could. I'd be like...
Yeah, no.
No.
I definitely... I don't think I could go back to it. Just like así como si nada, but
like you just saw your parents, like your mom, like
I know. I mean, my mom has seen me naked, but like,
you're in the mood.
I'm in the middle of it, and now she's seeing my husband naked.
Yeah, like his ass was in the air twerking and stuff, based on that position that she was in.
Oh, she said
missionary, and the guy's going like this.
But.
Oh, a lo mejor estaban arropados.
I think she was on top, is what it sounded like, no?
Well, she said missionary. Her titties were sagging. So maybe they were like this. Look it.
Because she said there I was doing it missionary style, rocking back and forth.
Going rocking back and forth like this?
So she
not us trying to get a better image, amiga. Not us. Like.
Okay. Because, like, if you're on the bottom, well, unless, like, okay, I don't know. Yeah, because now if it fits that way, his butt cheeks are twerking.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And you're like this. And luego abren, and you're like locking eyes. And you're like... And the guy doesn't even know. Imagine he didn't even like notice, and
Oh hell no.
Oh no, boundaries, boundaries.
Crazy. All right.
Anyways, if you guys have any more, are we stopping there at Chisme, or you want to read another one?
Oh, just read another one.
Okay, all right. The chiquito?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it this one, the y'all?
Yeah. Oh, you read that one? I thought you read the bottom. Like, you know where I selected it?
This one?
Click on it. Okay, girl.
Oh, I could read it. It's this one, right?
Because it gets cut off. That's why I thought you were reading it from the bottom. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the thing that was popped up.
Yeah, so you don't read that? What if it gets cut off?
No, I'm saying I do. I just didn't know if you pushed it. That's what, like, the pressed it to the next one. That's why. But anyways, I think this one is pretty good. Y'all, I'm catching up on 113 currently. Haha. Speaking about living with in-laws, I actually had...
here's another one.
No. I actually had to live with mine when I first moved out porque it was a bit rough getting my shit together on my own and with my fiance. Pero ya gracias a Dios, we've been on our own since May of last year. Anywho, the chisme. Mi suegra le dijo a mi fiance when we were living there that she actually heard us making love. Oh. Take in count, we lived in my at the time boyfriend's room upstairs. The embarrassment I felt, pero ya lo superé. Mis suegros son white and they're more open-minded and have normalized sex ed talks with their 3 kids. The rest being my fiance, and he has 2 older sisters. LMFAO. Oh, I've been in that situation.
Like, I feel like if I heard if I was living with like my kid and their spouse or their fiance or whatever, I just wouldn't bring it up.
No, me neither.
Like, if they're moved out already, like, I would have not felt the need to be like, I heard y'all.
Yeah. Or maybe if you're like being too loud, maybe that's
yeah, like if
that's why the parents were like, oh man, we gotta say something. Like, I'm over here trying to do. What if they're like work from home?
Oh yeah,
you get me? Like, what if they're work from? I'm just thinking about the scenario.
Yeah.
What if the suegra is work from home and she's over here and then she's in a meeting and then
you just hear the bed rock?
Yeah. Like, guys, I feel like that will bring up a necessary conversation. Like, guys, can y'all at least not doing during working hours or something, like, or keep it low, you know? Like, don't use a bed because that thing keeps hitting the wall.
Yeah.
The floor or something. I don't know.
Unless they okay, she did say that they've normalized talking about sex, like, so freely. So, yeah, I get it. Like, if you guys have that relationship, maybe because, you know, like, I don't have that relationship with my mom, but, like, if they could just, like, openly talk about it and just, like, make jokes of it, like, yeah, we fucking heard y'all. Like,
pero sí.
But it's kind of interesting. That's...
Yeah. Sientes como vergüenza in a way. You know?
Yeah, I would have been so embarrassed. I'd be like, yeah, what the fuck?
But you do that. It's gonna happen, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you guys live under the same house and...
Yeah, because what are you supposed to do? Just never do it or wait for them to be out of the house?
Or, like, be like, I don't know. Like, that. Yeah, that's true.
Because, like, what if they're those parents that just...
walls.
Yeah. Because I was about to say, what if they're those parents that never leave the house, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. You're going to have to get creative. Put, like, something behind the fucking... the headboard or whatever. And make sure that thing is not, like...
Turn on the TV full volume or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, I needed that laugh.
Oh, God.
I really needed that laugh.
Make sure if you guys have any chisme, let us know. Let us know. The link is going to be down below if you're watching YouTube, or if you're on our social media, it's going to be on Instagram bio. So leave your chisme.
Yeah, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. To keep up with all our shenanigans and the shenanigans of the country, because I like that right now.
Yeah, that What else goes on?
Like, comment, subscribe. If you're on YouTube if you're on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, don't forget to leave that 5-star review. Anything less,
You're gonna hit the DMs, baby. Hit the DMs.
yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll roundtable it.
Anyways, aquí le vamos a cerrar. Hopefully, I'm hoping this episode gets out at normal time. Fingers crossed.
Yeah,
si
'cause
no,
it's
un
gonna be a
poquito
long-
más tarde. But it's gonna get to you guys.
Yeah. So, yeah, let's wrap it up. Sorry. I fucking had a brain fart.
Wait, what?
I had a brain fart. Yeah, let's wrap it up. Anyways, ahí los vamos a dejar. Que Dios los bendiga.
Besitos.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.